Welcome to the session, Higher Education Opportunities in the Federal Sector, Business-Related Graduate Programs. Your presenters today are David Harvey and Dr. Dorothy Potter. Mr. Harvey is an associate professor at the National Defense University College of Information and Cyberspace. He has nearly 30 years of audit and financial management experience in the federal sector. Prior to joining the faculty of the College of Information and Cyberspace in October 2018, Mr. Harvey led the internal audit function as Chief Audit Executive at the Federal Retirement Thrift Investment Board, where he reported to the agency's board and its executive director. Dr. Potter is a professor of practice and possesses over 20 years of experience in all phases of federal financial management and has had the opportunity to work as a federal financial manager for the Department of Defense, Air Force, Army, and Navy as a headquarters Marine Corps employee. Prior to joining the college, she held positions as the risk management section head and audit engagement manager at headquarters U.S. Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, David Harvey and Dorothy Potter.
Well, thank you, Cheryl, for those kind introductions. Very pleased to be here along with Dr. Potter. I'm going to kick us off here as we talk about higher education opportunities in the federal sector, focusing primarily on some selected business-related graduate programs. And Dr. Potter is going to join us a few slides later. So let's get started. I should say that the views expressed by the presenters today are our own views and do not necessarily represent the views of the Department of Defense or any of its components. So here's a brief agenda. We'll first talk about the National Defense University and its overall mission and provide an overview. Then we'll focus on the College of Information and Cyberspace, where Dr. Potter and I both work. We'll focus on the history of our college, the current academic offerings. Then we'll focus on some business-related graduate certificates that we support and discuss general eligibility criteria for these programs. And then to close out our session, we'll focus on some other academic programs that are available that are federal government-related programs. One is the Naval Postgraduate School and their Graduate School of Defense Management. And then through the Syracuse University, they sponsor in conjunction with the Department of Army, the Defense Controllership Program. And then we'll close out as we answer any questions during the live component of our presentation. So the National Defense University, our website's there, www.ndu.edu. As you can see, we're in Washington, D.C. You can see the Washington Monument out there to the left on the photo. But we're located at the Fort McNair, which is in Southwest Washington. So the vision of NDU is to create strategic advantage by developing joint warfighters and other national security leaders and forging relationships through the whole of nations and whole of government educational programs, research, and engagement. Our mission is to educate those joint warfighters in critical thinking and creative application of military power to inform national strategy and globally integrated operations under conditions of disruptive change in order to conduct war. The college is part of the Joint Chiefs component of the Department of Defense, and we support their priorities. In terms of accreditation, the academic programs here at National Defense University are accredited by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, as well as the Joint Professional Military Education programs being accredited by the Process of Accreditation for Joint Education, also referred to as PAGE. And that's a specialized accrediting agency that's recognized by the Department of Defense through the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So we have a number of stakeholders that we support here at National Defense University. Obviously, as I mentioned, we're part of the joint staff, and we also have a board of visitors that provides oversight of our operations. We also have our accreditors as stakeholders. We also work with industry partners to ensure our programs are up to date and so forth. We also welcome a number of international students from our partner nations across the world. NDU has a foundation that's separate from the actual institution, but is a private foundation that supports our efforts. We also interact with Congress regarding our mission. We work with a number of federal agencies, obviously DOD, but also Department of Homeland Security, the State Department, and other civilian agencies who send students our way. We obviously support the military services, and they also send us students. And we work closely with combatant commands in terms of things that they would like us to research or address as part of our educational programs. NDU has 5 graduate level colleges. I will list them off here. The National War College, their focus is to educate future leaders of the armed forces, the Department of State, and other civilian agencies for high-level policy, command, and staff responsibilities by conducting a senior level course of study in national security strategy. We also have the Dwight D. Eisenhower School for National Security and Resource Strategy. Their focus is focused on preparing military officers and civilians for strategic leadership and success in developing national security strategy and in evaluating, marshaling, and managing resources in the execution of that strategy. A third college is the College of International Security Affairs, and they also prepare civilian and military national security professionals and future leaders from the United States and partner nations for strategic challenges of the contemporary security environment that our nation faces. There's also the Joint Forces Staff College. They educate national security professionals to plan and execute operational level, joint, multinational, and interagency operations to instill a primary commitment to joint, multinational, and interagency teamwork, attitudes, and perspectives that also face our nation. Lastly, the college that Dr. Potter and I support is the College of Information and Cyberspace. At the college, we educate and prepare select military and civilian leaders and advisors to develop and implement cyberspace strategies and to leverage information and technology to advance national and global security. So those are the 5 colleges within NDU. Now let's move to the next slide. So a brief history of the College of Information and Cyberspace. Back in 1964, our predecessor organization was created. It was called the Department of Defense Computer Institute, or DODCI. And you can see up there in the middle of the screen, that's Dr. Grace Hopper, who was a pioneer in terms of computer science within the Department of Navy and the Department of Defense. And, we have an auditorium named after her because she was quite an influence to our institution and education of future leaders. NDU was established in 1976, and the DODCI became part of NDU in 1981. So we've been around a good bit of time. In 1990, we were rebranded as the Information Resource Management College, or IRMC, and we focused a great deal on chief information officer type of issues, improving the Department of Defense stature in that area. In 2011, we were rebranded as the I-College, and by then, we had expanded to include our area, which I'll discuss in a moment, the CFO Academy. And then in 2017, we were renamed as CIC, or the College of Information and Cyberspace, in the National Defense Authorization Act. And you see our logos across from left to right as we progress through history. All right, let's move to the next slide. So I'll be going over this slide, and then Dr. Potter will take over. Um, let's see, our first item there is our Masters of Science in Government Information Leadership. It requires 36 credits to be completed, and currently we offer a National Security and Cyberspace Studies concentration. There's two modes for this item. There's Joint Professional Military Education, which is a 10-month full-time in-residence program, and you're selected, through the military components primarily through essential selection process. There's also a cyber workforce version, which is a combination program. There may be some in-residence components or online classes as well, and that's taken over time. It doesn't have to be completed in those 10 months. And, depending on how many courses you take at a time, you get done more quickly. For any student that's attending the National Defense University, we do offer some elective concentrations that the CIC supports, particularly the financial management elective concentration, the concentration in data analytics and visualization of data. We also address emerging information technology and also cybersecurity leadership. We also offer graduate certificates offered via distance learning. And our programs there are the Chief Financial Officer program. And Dr. Potter and I primarily support that program, although we also support other programs within CIC. There's also a Chief Information Officer program, an IT program management program, a cybersecurity focused graduate certificate, which provides a basis for the cybersecurity information security officer role. And then for a more general leadership, cyber leadership graduate certificate for those folks who are interested, who may have management roles but need that cyber awareness and knowledge to further prepare in their career. And Dr. Potter is going to go over those here in just a second. Lastly, for this slide, there's a very good program called the CIO Leadership Development Program. And this is a 14-week in-residence Chief Information Officer program. And it's designed for rising senior leaders to help them develop those CIO competencies, and with a focus on strategic use of information and information technology to help achieve agency goals and objectives. Okay, well, that's a brief snapshot of some background on NDU and CIC, and I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Potter to continue our discussion here today. Dr. Potter?
Thank you, Professor Harvey. Okay, so this is our CFO graduate certificate, and to give you all just some perspective of what you saw on the previous slide, the CFO certificate is basically a certificate that is offered to graduate level students already possessing master's degrees, as well as students who are either working in the CFO environment, generally at the GS 13-14 level, or if you're military, the officer level of 05-06. And it is basically providing information with respect to, how to manage budgets, how to understand cost analysis, auditing, resource management, accounting and finance, risk management, internal controls. And as you can see at the bottom of the slide, the core courses include White House, Congress, and the budget, risk, internal control, and auditing for leaders, as well as the future of federal financial information sharing. And those are our core courses. We also have elective courses that accompany this certificate, so students can progress and actually get the 15-hour credit hour graduate certificate in CFO leadership. the CIO graduate certificate is basically for individuals who fall under that Chief Information Officer program. But all of these certificates that National Defense University, the College of Information and Cyberspace offers, is offered to anyone interested with a master's degree, interested in moving into another competency area. You don't have to necessarily be a CIO coming into the program, just like the CFO. The CFO is a little stricter. We're trying to reduce the restrictions on that because it does ask that you have the requisite knowledge and requisite time in a position that will allow you to enroll in the program. However, as an example, myself, I already have the CFO graduate certificate, and then I went on to get the data strategy and analytics certificate because I was very interested in that. But individuals who want to look at moving into the Chief Information Officer environment, or just having the additional knowledge that goes along with it, because if you're a CFO, it's good to have that knowledge so that you understand what CFOs do and then what your role and responsibility is to working with CIOs in the CFO environment. But this program is a very, very good program in that it directly aligns with the Federal CIO Council, defines CIO competencies, the Cleaner-Cohen Act, and other relevant legislation mandates. And anyone who is working within, say, the CFO environment, and if you're working in the audit environment or audit remediation environment, you should have some understanding of the Cleaner-Cohen Act with respect to IT issues, IT audit issues, findings, and things like that to help stakeholders when they begin the remediation process. But this is very aligned to, and I would say, accompanies well the CFO graduate certificate if somebody was interested in taking this. The core courses include the CIO 2.0 Rules and Responsibilities, Strategic Information Technology Acquisition, and Strategic Performance and Budget Management. And as you can see, the SPB course in Strategic Performance and Budget Management is also one of those courses that also aligns to the CFO program. It works very well. I took that course myself, and it is a fantastic course that challenges you as a student because you get into strategic plans and how to develop different processes and programs, and understand in developing that strategic plan the importance and relevance of goals and objectives and initiatives to accomplish that goal. Strategic plan. So it's a very, very good course. And the CIO graduate certificate is another valuable certificate that I would say many individuals, many students coming into NDU are very interested in. The ITPM graduate certificate, also related on the IT side, close to the CIO side, but the IT graduate certificate, it's designed to meet the ever-increasing call for program managers across the federal government and to assist agency employees in complying with OMB direction. The OMB requires that project managers qualified in accordance with CIO Council guidance manage all major information technology projects. And this certificate requires successful completion of a graduate level curriculum to satisfy all of the competencies established by the Office of Personnel Management. The graduate certificate complements general project management training. So any of the individuals holding the PMP, as you can see, and then the project management body of knowledge, which is the guide that is used, this is a great complement to your professional development within the career. If you're interested in the ITPM graduate certificate, it would prove to be very valuable. The courses include Emerging Technologies, which I've taken. It's a very good class. Information Technology Program Leadership, Strategic Information Technology Acquisition, which I do believe is ITA, and I believe I've taken that one as well. Information Technology, Project Management, Capital Planning, and Portfolio Management, which is another very challenging class, but valuable, as well as Data Management Strategies and Technologies. And I've taken that one as well, but under the Data Analytics certificate. So some of these courses are able to cross over, not too many, but maybe one or two. But this is a very good program also that NDU offers to students with master's degrees. The Cyber Graduate Certificate, CISO. So this is designed for those supporting cybersecurity program managers, federal agencies, including those that serve in the role of Chief Financial Information Security Officer, the CISO. The program provides advanced education to respond to the requirements set forth in the Federal Information Security Management Act, FISMA, and requirements for secure use of national security information systems set by the Committee for National Security Systems. The core courses for this graduate certificate include the following: information assurance and critical information protection, approval to operate. And this is basically your authority to operate the ATOs, if any of you are familiar with that, for information system certification and accreditation, and then enterprise information security and risk management, cybersecurity and for information leaders. Anytime you have a program that offers you the opportunity to engage in enterprise information security and any type of risk management, that's a very valuable and I would say heavily weighted course, because risk management has become such an important part of the financial management area in general, especially with respect to audits. So it's a very good course. This is another good program to take that will complement a master's degree. And the Cyber Leadership Graduate Certificate. Cyber Graduate Certificate, this is designed to support cybersecurity program managers at the federal agency level, including those that serve in the role of Chief Information Security Officer, the CISO again. And the program provides advanced education to respond to requirements set forth in the Federal Information Management Act, FISMA, and requirements for secure use of national security systems set by CNSS, which we also saw in the previous slide. The core courses for this graduate certificate include cyber intelligence, national security, and cyber power strategy, which is a course that I've just completed. And I will say a very challenging course, but very valuable course for anybody interested in or anyone who works in the cybersecurity environment. The other courses are International Perspective on Cyberspace and Multi-Agency Information-Enabled Collaboration, which is a course that Professor Harvey and I actually teach under our program. So although this course, the abbreviation is MAC, M-A-C, although we teach this course under the CFO program, it is a course that is embedded in the Cyber Leadership Graduate Certificate program. And the CIO Leadership Development Program. This is a great program as well for CIOs looking at leadership development. It's administered in an intensive and highly effective 14-week program. Professor Harvey mentioned this on the previous slides about the 14-week program. And within this program, once students graduate, they have a graduation to recognize their achievement. The student-centered educational experience emphasizes developing leadership skills and abilities while learning CIO content through the completion of 6 courses. So the 6 courses may also comprise some of the courses you saw previously on slides. However, they have different courses that are really structured to the CIO leader. So anyone who is interested in CIO leadership, this would be an ideal program for you. And it is 14 weeks in residence, so it's very hands-on, and you're very much engaged in the program. The leadership skills and abilities are put into practice, and the learned knowledge is employed as students participate in domestic field studies. What that means is you are given the opportunity to travel and go look at other agencies and evaluate their areas, their CIO areas and what they're doing, and to look at maybe areas that can be improved upon. But it is a great learning experience and gives students an opportunity to reach out and meet other individuals in the area of cyber and CIO, as well as just gain additional perspective as to how things work in other organizations. The CIO leadership curriculum provides participation with the Chief Information Officer graduate certificate and the CIO LDP diploma. So a little more is gained in this program. It's anticipated that this program will be offered next in the spring of 2022. It's not a program that's offered every single semester, so it may be offered in the spring of 2022. And then the general eligibility criteria for the programs at NDU. For government affiliation, federal employees, DOD, state, Department of Homeland Security, other civilian agencies, state and local government civilian employees are eligible to attend. U.S. and international military officers, which we see also in our joint professional military education program, but international students are also eligible to attend our programs, the master's degree, as well as the graduate certificates that are taken in the distributed learning environment. And also, we have also private sector personnel in applicable organizations that have roles within the federal financial management arena. Because you have a lot of, say, accounting firms and other firms that support DoD. So they are also eligible to enroll in these programs. So you should have a bachelor's degree with at least a GPA of 3.0 or a master's degree as well with the 3.0 GPA will get you in. And at least be a GS-13 or an 04, which is a major for the Army and Air Force. I believe the Marine Corps and Navy may be lieutenant commanders. I do believe. I may be wrong, but I think that's right. But for military ranks, an 04 is the minimum requirement, and GS-13 is the minimum requirement for others. For any questions, you have the numbers below. You can call us and call NDU. You should be able to get the Office of Student Services. The registrar's office lives in this area, and they can provide you with any answers to any questions that you may have. Also, if you see the little starburst here in yellow, all courses at National Defense University, all courses are free to DoD personnel. So that is a huge gain for anyone looking to get an accredited master's degree or graduate certificate. Professor Harvey.
Well, thank you, Dot, for that good overview of all our different graduate certificates and so forth. We really value our CIC students. We hope you can come join us and register for classes. You can always, apply and see how you like it. But most people who start with our programs end up going further on to seek out a master's degree or one or two graduate certificates. So it's a great program. Here's a picture of some of our graduates from our CIO leadership program. And I guess, there's just really, I'd like to highlight the importance of community at NDU. You're provided access to things like the presidential lecture series where you have, flag officers come and speak. You might have an ambassador come and speak. Sometimes there may have been, a speech from, institutions like the Defense Intelligence Agency or the Central Intelligence Agency. And it all serves to enrich your knowledge of government and national security, and also there's specialized speakers with respect to the CFO program or the CIO program, in all of our different programs. So that's an opportunity. And we have a world-class library, I feel. A number of librarians who are there to assist with research. And, they have huge access to many of all the periodicals and databases, and they offer classes on how to research and how to, identify those needed reference materials for the papers that you may write. And we also offer an NDU writing center within the library. It's a center for excellence for writing. And they have people on staff. Some of us may have been out of school for a while, and it's important to have that resource to support our students to help guide them in some of the writing skills. In fact, that's one of our charges, is to ensure that written communications is emphasized. Sometimes we have leadership memos. Of course, you may have a longer academic paper. And we always also have oral presentations, which can be so important in terms of briefing boards and flag officers and other members of leadership. So it helps us hone our skills, because often they say what got us here won't get you there. And so I think we really give our students a great chance of success. And when they're successful, the Department of Defense and the other agencies that they work for are successful as well. So that's, a great avenue for our education for our students. If you're on campus, perhaps not with the distance learning program, but there's access to exercise facilities and the Fort McNair campus is very beautiful, sitting right off the Washington Channel here in Southwest DC. Anyway, we encourage you to come check us out and join us. All right, so at this point, I'd like to transition to a couple of other institutions that do address some of the similar topics relating to graduate level business programs in the federal government. We're going to just highlight a couple here. They're the Naval Postgraduate School. They're out in Monterey, California, but they also have a distance learning component. And so we'll be checking them out. The Graduate School of Defense Management. They have many other schools, but that's the one that's we chose to focus on. And more information, obviously, is available at their website, which is listed there. And then there's Syracuse University. They offer, in concert with the Defense Comptrollership program through the Department of Army, they also offer that program. All right, let's go to the next slide. So the Graduate School of Defense Management offers a number of residence programs, but also distance learning. The Master of Business Administration, a professional Master's of Business Administration, and then a Master's of Science in Management. Of course, more details are available on the specific program you're interested at their website, but you can earn a Master's through distance learning on contract management, program management, and then they have an Executive Master of Business Management. They also have what they term academic certificates in a number of defense-related management areas. There were so many, I had difficulty choosing which ones to include here on the slide, so I only highlighted a few, but just check out their website. But some of the interesting ones I saw was Strategic Leadership Certificate, Managerial Logistics Certificate, and a Defense Management Foundation Certificate. All right, and interestingly, they are also not only accredited by a regional accrediting body, in this case, the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, but they also have accreditation by the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, AACSB, which is the highest accrediting body for the business schools, and also the National Association of Schools of Public Affairs and Administration, and that's NASPAA. So that just gives you another level of quality accreditation that's beneficial. Okay. Now let's move to this Syracuse University Defense Comptrollership Program. The Assistant Secretary of Army focused on financial management and comptroller, and the Syracuse University's Whitman School of Management and the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs have come together to develop a joint degree program focused exclusively on defense comptrollership. And if you complete this program, you actually get two master's degrees by through the combination of the coursework there. You have the Master's of Business Administration degree, as well as the Executive Masters of Public Administration. And completed in only 14 months, this resident 60 credit program is comprised of 42 credits at the Whitman School and 18 credits at the Maxwell School. So some of the courses that you may take there are, as you might take in other places, but these have a defense focus: economics, data analysis, management information systems, financial accounting, marketing, supply chain project management, operations management, activity-based costing and management accounting, business strategy and human capital management, government contracting, entrepreneurship, and defense comptrollership. The Maxwell program also adds managerial leadership, dispute resolution for public managers, policy analysis, and public administration and law. And you have to also complete an end of program master's project, for degree completion purposes. And I will say that there are, it's a cohort model where approximately 25 to 30 participants complete each defense comptrollership program, and often active and reserve military officers make up about 2/3 of the class, and others are civilian members of the comptroller profession from the Army, defense agencies, and other services. And Dr. Potter had earlier told me that she actually had taken some courses, not part of this particular program, but as part of another program that the Syracuse University Syracuse University offers, and she found it to be a very intensive and well thought out program. Interestingly, and perhaps not surprisingly, after you complete these programs at Syracuse, students are expected to pass the Certified Defense Financial Manager program that's offered by the American Society of Military Comptrollers. So that's an important designation, particularly with respect to the Department of Defense. The academic programs at Syracuse University are also accredited, one by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, but also as was the case with the Naval Postgraduate School, the AACSB and the NASPAA. And so that's a mark of distinction. And they also, those designations also help you should you want to transfer those credits to another school, which can be helpful at times. So, well, that's getting close to our end time. And so at this point, we're going to conclude our presentation, and we do look forward to the questions that the attendees at the Training Officers Annual Institute will have. So we thank you so much. And on behalf of Dr. Potter, this is David Harvey, and we really appreciate your attention today, and take care. Thanks very much.